Hello, welcome to Fo's Journey Across the Bridge. I'm Fozia. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. If you have not yet clicked the notification bell, you might want to do so. So when I do share my videos, you'll be notified. And at the end of this video, if you've taken anything away from it that really has inspired you, motivated you, or gave you an aha moment, I hope you click the like button to show that you like and appreciate the information being shared here. I wanted to just have a conversation with you guys. So, real talk. Am I the only one who experiences these extreme negative thoughts, like these extreme they're just, it's like you have these thoughts that come in to disempower you, right? And they are like, it's like trying to put you in a state of fear, a state of panic, a state of like just fear. So fear-based. And sometimes it's like as soon as you wake up, it's almost like it's so interesting, right? It's like the conscious you wakes up, but it's like there's this thought that was just waiting for it to wake up. It's like, oh, you're awake, but you can sense like there's this thought that's present waiting for you to just wake up, right? And so in the moment you wake up, the tape recording, the moment you wake up is just like, it has these mean things that it's like, first is like personal attacks, and then it's like projection, or trying to get you to project a thought or like a vision of, just creating such an illusion of like, how are you capable of keeping yourself safe? Are you capable of keeping others safe? And it just projects the most, I would say the most evil scenarios. And it's like, you have to like, no, thank you. That is not my thought. I cancel this thought, or I replace it with God's divine love and light. May God transform this energy, right? But in the last few weeks, I'm starting to be more like, hey, like, what's going on? And I can say like, these are thoughts that it's almost like they've been there since I was a kid. It's like a bully thought, But at the same time, it's like thoughts of like someone, or let's just, if we were to place it in a body of a person, we would say it's someone who wants harm for you and those that you care about. So it's that kind of thought. It's like, are you sure you can go there? Is it safe to go there? Are you sure they can go there? Is it safe to go there? Are you sure this is not going to happen? So it's this constant like fear-based. And I know, like, as when you experience trauma and you are fragmented, there are aspects of you that have created this rule that said, in order to be safe, we can't go there, we can't do that, and all that stuff. So your mind creates this safety wall, or this safety messaging or pattern to kind of keep you safe by showing you like, hey, remember when we went there and this happened? And at the same time, it's like the moment it gets a glimpse of something, it's like, hey, do you remember the last time we were this happy? You sure you want to be this happy? Are you sure you want to go on this path? And so it's like, it brings back like pain and hurt and trauma from the past, and it just keeps it in this present moment where it just replays it. So I guess this is where I was like, okay, it's time to have this conversation, because first you want to make sure, is it your brain that's doing it, right? Is my brain playing a reprogramming of like scenarios and events that I had to like kind of create in my head as an illusion or as a reality to be able to survive an environment? Or is it something outside of that? Like, is it altogether not the voice of my mind? Is it altogether not the voice of my wounded inner child? Is it completely external of me? And if it is, like, what is it, right? So I just wanted to bring my full awareness, first of all, to that, but at the same time to see, is anyone else is experiencing this? How many of us are going through this type of mental, I would say, attack, mental overwhelmness of fear-based thoughts, just fear-based. Like, you could be in your moment of like just settling into joy or peace and calmness, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, you don't have the right to settle into joy and peaceness and calm. No, it has to be dysfunctional, or things have to, you got to be putting the fire out, and watch your back, or this and that. So because more and more I am like saying, no, what is this and where is it coming from, I feel like I am more distancing myself from it to be able to have a better observation of it, right? And so maybe as a kid I always thought it was mine, because I had this like I had this sadness that I had carried on. It was almost like a backpack that you take off and you put back on. And I had that for so many years, beginning in my childhood, that when I first became conscious of it, it was like, I'm not really sad at this moment. Why am I wearing this sadness, right? And so just that first understanding of it allowed me to be like, okay, we need to like figure out what this is and where this is coming from. And even though that first time I had that awareness, I didn't have the tools, at least it brought me to the present moment. It was like my consciousness of like, hey, I'm right here. It brought me to right now. It caused me to go, well, right now I'm not sad. So where is this sadness coming from? So I just wanted to come in and say that. And the interesting thing too is, like, I was thinking to myself, the moment like yesterday I did this amazing video just doing a reconnect with you guys and just touching base, and I had this awareness of all this joy and all this amazing centeredness and peace that's within me that was just like flowing through, and I know it's just at the tip of like manifesting externally, and just sharing that joy. Like, there was a part of me that almost felt like what's gonna come right after. So it's almost like this sense of like high, and then it just wants you to bring, somehow it's like this crash of like deep down into sadness, almost appearing like depression out of nowhere. So it's like, I've noticed that pattern also before. So my thing is like, well, why can't I maintain this? Like, why can't, not that I cannot, but it's a question I'm asking myself. It's like, what is the issue that would then cause, I'm having peace, I'm experiencing joy, and this is not due to anything or anyone. It's a joy that's present, right? And that's the next thing I want to talk about. But it's almost like the awareness of this presence causes this thoughts, or these thoughts, to just bombard, like, to come in like a water balloon being thrown at you, and it's like coming from every direction, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, who told you to get out of this prison? Who told you to get out of this mental prison? Who told you to be free? Who told you to be happy? Who told you to be joyful? Who told you that you have this right? So it's almost like an attack to cause you to go back into a state of thought, to go into a state of viewing life in a certain way, viewing life in a fear-based way, viewing life in like a helpless way. And so it's like, no, go back to that mental jail. And so just catching it, it's like, no, I don't have, it's almost like when you first have experienced sadness, like, yeah, you've experienced sadness so you can understand. And so it's almost like, well, when you experience sadness, that became somehow, we're going to use this, this energy is being used to kind of like put you in a place of sadness all the time. So it's like, no, I'm not sad right now. And the same thing with like fear-based thoughts and fearing life and fearing experiences and fearing being present. It's like, yeah, this did happen. It's almost like it's being used against you. So just as I have become aware of books and teachings and stuff that talk about how the mind developed this protection wall or this technique to protect you, you know, it could all fall under that, right? So it's like, hey, remember when you needed me to do this and that's how we stayed safe? You know, it's like, yes, we needed that for then, but we don't need it now. So how come you're using that again? And how come you're coming across as if I'm not grateful? So this all could be aspects of you that you're battling with, like the old version of you as you're stepping into this new and authentic and true version of you. So it's like this stretching or this final part of the race, or this final part of this chapter, right? So it's like, well, you're being ungrateful for not continuing this toxic pattern, or so it's almost like a guilt trip that's kind of happening, like the bullying and the guilt trip. So it's like, is my mind doing this? Is my or fragmented aspects of me doing this? Is it my old version of self doing this? So just to have the conversation about it, because again, what that does is it allows us to be present, right? It allows us to be present with what we're feeling and what we're experiencing, rather than, you know, identifying with it, rather than considering it to be normal, rather than saying, well, that's no big deal, you know, I'll make time for it later, or I won't pay any attention to it. No, it's like, hey, this is happening. And I feel like the more you call your attention to your mind and your thoughts, and also just being present with yourself, the more you can identify what are not the things, the thoughts that are not yours, right? And parts that still need healing within yourself. So I hope that just sharing that with you guys also allows you to inquire with yourself, am I having certain type of thoughts that are toxic? And is it a protective mechanism that has been placed, that has been put in place by my brain? Am I self-sabotaging because I feel like when I succeed in one area, others will come and attack me, and so my brain goes, well, we're going to sabotage ourselves so we don't succeed, so we can avoid the pain. We have to understand what is it that we're doing that now it's almost like what is our brain doing? What are we consciously doing? What is not our doing? What are external thoughts? What are energies and projections? What are mine and what can I fix? What do I want to keep? What do I want to get rid of? What are my thoughts that are really mine or authentically mine? So I feel like that's the part of my brain that's kind of unwiring itself, is the understanding of like, can I stand alone in my success? And will that be enough for me? Right? And at the same time, is like, am I willing to pursue my passions, my desire, my success, my blessings? Am I willing to go after or stand in my gift, despite who is for me or not for me, despite others might try to cause me to not experience that? Am I still willing to pursue what's mine, even if there's adversaries? Right? Am I willing? Because if the brain had first understood to avoid pain, we need to avoid these things, then imagine from the time you're a kid, you experience trauma. And every time you get a glimpse of, I enjoy this and I want to pursue this, your brain goes, well, that may make other people jealous, so we're not going to pursue this. So let's sabotage it. We drew this beautiful picture, but if others see it, they're going to envy us and they're going to be mean to us. So let's scribble all over it. How many times in your life are you going to scribble over things? So I feel like that's what's happening, and I'm catching it. That my brain has been in this state of scribbling. So then it's almost like it happens so often that even the vision or the idea, the desire is so blurry. It's not present, right? And so it was a protection thing. Now it's like a hindrance, right? It's hindering me. And at the same time, because I'm acknowledging it, I'm able to separate that which my brain is doing to protect me and has been doing it for a very long time, and what is external thoughts that are not mine that I should not step into. So just bringing my awareness to it, I'm able to separate the two, right? So now that I'm understanding all these differences of what's mine and what's not mine, I can address what's mine. Okay, my brain, we can't continue to live like this. We can't continue to sabotage ourselves, because we're not only are we not allowing ourselves to progress, but on this journey, it's a moving forward type of experience. It's not a staying stuck in one place, right? And at the same time, you know, our presence on this planet and having this human experience, we have like an influence in other people's life, whether directly or indirectly. So when we are not showing up and taking action and moving forward in our own life due to, you know, false beliefs, or due to the brain trying to overprotect us, then we are also not assisting those that we came here to assist, so they can create the magnificence that they came to share with the world. So just acknowledging that and knowing that, okay, that's what's happening. The moment I experience joy, my brain has to send me all these fear-based thoughts, and it has to, you know, show me all these danger alerts of like, hey, are you safe, or others safe, and all of that, to keep me stuck and frozen in time. And I have to do the work to make sure I get past that. And I have to say, okay, well, there isn't any danger. Okay, you know, God is a better protector than I am. Well, I still need to, you know, go to work and provide for myself, right? Or I still need to get up and clean the house, or I still need to get up and take care of me. I still need to go out in the world and produce. I still need to go out in the world and like work. All these different things. It could be applied to so many scenarios. But if you're sabotaging because it's an old pattern, then you're not taking any action forward. And that's the stuckness. And if you're stuck, you're not living your purpose. You're not living God's purpose for you. You were created to be in this experience. And it was an experience of a moving forward type of action, one step in front of the other, not a stay stuck somewhere. So if the protective mechanism that your brain has taken on years ago are hindering you in that way, I pray that you can become present enough with it to start doing the work necessary so that you can move past that. Okay? And also start to separate thoughts that are not yours, that are external, that are being projected towards you energetically. Know the difference and return those to sender. No, thank you. Okay, so I'm so grateful to have, and for a couple of days or weeks, I've been just wanting to come and talk about this, and I wasn't really sure how it would come out and how I would be able to communicate it. And I feel like just as I'm talking to you guys about it, even as I'm talking to you guys about it, I'm talking myself through it. I'm giving myself like tools that I didn't realize I needed, which is just expressing it. First, all the stuff I just expressed are things that are becoming more and more to my awareness. And as they are in this very moment, I'm sharing that with you guys. So when you are present with something, and the more you explore what this thing is, the more you are kind of like removing what's on the surface and getting to the root of it. And when you get to the root of it, you are then able to really understand what's the core of this. Claim that little baby in a child that's in there. Claim that child, and they are safe, and they're safe with you, and you are capable of keeping them safe to the best of your ability. Again, God being the best protector. And then from there, you have to do the work, the exercises that you have to put in place to make sure that your brain is then not, you know, or that when your brain sends these messages or these projections of images, that you can say, oh, that's so awful. No, thank you. That was the past. That was awful. That's not my presence. That's not my reality. And I trust and I have faith that whatever I experience ends with me. that it does not go any further, that I am the last for it to end with, right? And to have faith and trust in that process, to have faith and trust in your creator, to have faith and trust, faith. I'm gonna have to do a video one day about faith and how important your faith is. And for those who might feel like their faith is low or there isn't any faith, if you've come from any situation where you are no longer in, it is faith that has brought you in. It could be the smallest faith, mustard seed faith that has brought you forward. It could be your eyes closed and you're moving through the dark and you're not knowing. You're having faith, and that faith is allowing you to trust a power greater than yours. So I pray for us that we continue to awaken into this reality of what is our true self, what is our authentic self, and what are we here to experience, and everything that does not align with who we are, that we start to peel that away and get to the center and see who we are, and to love that part of us, to love all parts of us, to accept all parts of us, right? And so do the work one step at a time. Like when it comes up, address it, find the tools for it. Okay? Ooh, that was a mouthful. Let's do 3 deep breaths because I want to talk to you guys about joy. So let's go. 3 deep breaths. So let's talk about joy. Joy. You know, I think that it's very important to understand what joy feels like in your body, and you know what it looks like to your mind, and how you feel like you are then projecting or manifesting it into your external reality, right? And I think it's important to have it be this type of like awareness that you can pull in whenever you need it. And this is an exercise that I think I have learned from Tony Robbins. And it's where you have, you know, think of these amazing experiences that you've had, and when you can think of them in part of your gratitude practice and whatever, you can then pull them in when you need them. So whenever you're in a situation where you feel a bit down, or you're just feeling overwhelmed or whatever, or uncertain, you can pull those experiences in to remind yourself like, oh, I am capable of having such experiences. I am capable of experiencing joy. I have experienced joy before. That what I'm experiencing now is just temporary, right? And so because of that, I feel like when we can remember and we can pull it in, then we empower ourselves. And then we can always have a dose of joy no matter what the circumstances are. And something about doing that, it's like seeing the bigger picture, seeing the bright side of things. And I think recently I had read a quote by someone that said, seeing the bright side of things never hurts someone's eye, or never hurts someone, something like that. And that's so true. Like, that's so true. So pull that into your now reality whenever you need it. And at the same time, if you're experiencing something within yourself that says, I need to have joy only, or I can only have joy when I'm having this type of experience, when I'm with these type of people, or I have this person, or this career, or this clothes, or this thing, or this object, it's like you are giving your power away to all those things. So when they're not there, then you feel like you don't have joy, right? And joy and love is like, it's like this, I don't know if it's one of the same or if it's like a twin type of energy, but it's like, it just fills you up. It fills you up to the point where there isn't room for things that need to come from the external. Like you're full within yourself. And from that space, you can then offer from your fullness to others, right? So, yeah. And it's something to do with like, not something to do. I would just say, learn to know what it's like. So if you're unfamiliar with it and you have this high and low, or you're experiencing your brain coming in and bombarding you with like, no, you can't be happy, no, you can't be joyful, no, wait, pause, time out. This thing comes right after. If you've experienced that and you're like, well, joy doesn't stay long enough for me to really understand it and sit in the core of it. So I would say, when you are experiencing joy, when you are experiencing some sort of happiness, pause, because sometimes, like, I don't know if you guys are like me. If I'm happy, I want to call someone that I love, I want to share with other people, I just want to go and have a yummy dessert, or I want to go and shop, or I want to hang out with my kids, or I just want to do something fun. Like when I'm happy, I just want to like let that energy like phew. And like we know with all energy, they just come in and they come out. Nothing is permanent, right? All those energy are not permanent. They come in and they go out. So the next time you are experiencing happiness and you want to begin to really understand what joy is, because I feel like for me, I feel like joy is this contentment. It's like this sitting fully in your belly and sitting fully in your backside. You're just centered and you're grounded and you're just enough. You're taking up all of your own space and you're content, you're satisfied. And so the next time you're feeling happy, before you get up and like pick up the phone and call someone, or before you go and eat something yummy, and before you go and try to magnify and extend this happiness, I would say pause, and I would say sit. Find a nice spot to just sit. Even if you sit for 2-5 minutes, whatever it is, sit. Sit and send that energy from your head all the way to your feet, up and down. Just keep it within your being. Keep it within your body. And let that happiness just stay with you. Let it like expand and let it go up and down. Just feel it. Feel it in your knees and feel how good it feels. Let it go and touch every part of your inside. Let it flow within you, because you'll feel it on the external as well. And then when you are ready and feel like you had all that you can have from that energy of happiness, then you can let it do its natural thing, which is flow right out of you. And then it will flow to wherever it needs to flow to. Whether it's the person you're walking by, whether it's just maintaining or staying in the home that you're in, whether it's like flowing in that home and just going from person to person, flowing out into the world, and it returns to God. This energy returned to where it came from, right? So it just flows through you. So I would say practice when you're feeling happy to sit and sit and sit and sit more with that. And I promise you, from that practice, you'll be able to identify what joy is, because joy is something that you can just kind of like, it's almost like you're lighting your own internal candle. You're just in that state of joy. You don't have a reason. You can't tell people like, oh, because of this, that's why I'm feeling joy. Because of that, that's why I'm happy. You just are. You are, because you can see the grandeur of things, the bigger picture. Okay, and you feel supported and you feel protected, you feel understood, you feel like the most important thing is God sees and knows you. That's what joy feels like. It's this sense of knowing, is this sense of being fully present and grounded within yourself, owning all of yourself, all of your space. So I would say practice that, because that's the same practice that you need to, not the same, but similar in terms of like when you're angry or upset. You need to understand what it is. And if you're not careful, as that energy, quickly you pick up the phone to call someone, you open the door to go outside, or you're talking to someone in your home, you are then releasing that energy to them. and you haven't yet understood the message of the energy, right? But at the same time, that type of energy, if you don't want it to go towards someone, you become conscious of it as you sit with it and say, okay, this energy came from here, it's telling me this, now I've understood it, I'm releasing it directly to God. And you transform, or you send it to God, and God transform that energy so others don't have to experience it through your release of it, right? So practice sitting with happiness, with peacefulness, with awareness, sitting with your awareness. All the emotions that come up with you, try to sit with them and understand what they're telling you. And if it's something as amazing as happiness and joy and peace, before you let it just leave your space, allow it to do this, to bounce up and down and everywhere within you. And then when it's done doing that, then you release it. And then that way, wherever it goes, it's only affecting people in a positive way, right? And any energy that you don't want to send to others, I would say release it straight to God. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys today. This is my sharing of the day. And I feel so good, so amazing just having the awareness of what my brain has been doing, the awareness of external thoughts that are not mine, and my ability to return them to sender, release them to God, remove them from me. And knowing that when I'm feeling happy, I can just let it sit. I can let it sit in my creative chakra or in my root chakra. Send it where you need it to the most. Send it where you need it the most. Where within you do you need the most love? Do you need the most joy, the most happiness, the most peace? When you feel that energy and it comes to you as a gift and is so full within you, comes to you as a gift from source, from God, let it flow, and within all of you, feel the light of it, feel the energy of it, and then send it to go sit in your heart. Send it to your heart. Send that energy of love. And I don't want to use the word "sit," but send it to your heart and let it just go to your heart and do what the heart needs it, right? Or send it to the belly, or send it to your knees, or to your hips, or to your elbows, or to your arms. Send it. And then you can release it out into the universe. I am Fozia, and I am so grateful that I can share my growth, my healing, my experiences of transformation, of joy, of gratitude with you guys. And I pray that you find the strength and the inspiration to stand in your authentic self, and that you follow your passion. And may I do the same. Thank you for having tuned in. If you've enjoyed the information that was shared today, please like the video and do not hesitate to share with someone. Bye for now.